what you said actually brought me to my next point. Understanding the current dilemma that my generation and generation to come are in, how would you improve the three aspects of diabetes, high blood pressure, and obesity? How are you supposed to address what the dilemma is now? Because like you said, people tend to gravitate to the things they shouldn't, and it's a choice that you have to make. So how could we improve how these people make these choices?
Well, the primary thing goes back to education. Most people make poor choices because they have poor information, and they make poor decisions because of the information they have to decide what they're going to eat or not going to eat. If you looked at a commercial on TV and says Burger King has a 99-cent hamburger at 10 o'clock at night, or you can drive through to midnight, and you had $1, that might be the choice you make. So we have to give people alternative choices. So if I said at 10 o'clock at night you should only eat maybe a piece of fruit or an apple, or have a vegetable smoothie or vegetable juice or something, it may sound strange initially until you tried it, and then you see how you feel eating a Burger King late at night as opposed to eating fruit late at night. And that would be one of the things, but we'd have to educate people to teach them there's something other than what we're presented through TV or through media, or what we're accustomed to from our families. Because a lot of times it's family pressure. It's what your parents eat, you end up eating.
It's actually how I was raised. I wasn't supposed to eat after 6.
Yes.
So that's another thing. When I was growing up, my parents, they cut off the kitchen when I was like at 6 o'clock.
Right.
You had dinner, and then you woke up and had breakfast. If you were hungry after that, then that was it. And I think that's what you're basically saying.
Yeah, so that has a big benefit. A lot of the diabetes we see, a lot of the other health conditions we see comes because we're eating around the clock, we're eating binge eating, we're eating too sweet snacks and sweet desserts after that 6 o'clock or 8 o'clock hour. But at least in your family, you see that there was a criteria, or you had a guideline to follow when it came to eating. And so that will, number one, control your weight, and it'll reduce your risk for those type of conditions.
So what about the cheat days where you want to say, I know I'm not supposed to eat this chocolate bar, but I know I feel like I want to? What do you have to say for things like, because I have those days where I know I shouldn't eat it, but I do anyway because I have that craving for it, and it's just, but at the back of my head, I convince myself that it's not going to throw off my whole day. Does it throw off your whole day if you take a whole candy bar and then eat a balanced meal and then finish off with a huge dessert?
Well, I think it really does throw your day off to an extent. It's a lot of times when you tell people, you give them an inch like a cheat day, they take a mile. So you want to, and I know it's not a perfect world. I mean, even me growing up, or at this point in my life, and maybe some days, I don't call them cheat days, but I have to make a mistake and say, well, I need to pray about that because I shouldn't have had that. But when you do those, you don't want to make those regular. You want to make sure that you limit those. And over time, you get to the point in your eating, or you're eating a certain diet, where you have less cravings and less desires. The more you eat those sweet foods or high carbohydrate foods, the more you're going to want them. So the more you can restrict them, the less you have a desire for them. So it's a process to work through, and especially for younger adults, it can be difficult because you always feel like I'm healthy and I'm feeling fine. As time goes on, they have a bigger effect on your health.